BoxOfficeGold.net.
Coming at you live.
And in full effect. From Mike's Garage right here, Jackson, Michigan.
Studio A.
I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm your host, Dan.
And what we're doing here is movie reviews, people. If you haven't caught on yet.
Movie reviews. Straight up reviews from my mouth to use.
The movie we're doing this week is Tron Legacy. Now, this movie was pretty freaking cool, man.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to say it.
Jeff Bridges, of course.
Functional.
Epic.
Yeah. I actually have a bone to pick about Jeff Bridges. We'll get to that later.
right. And Olivia Wilde was sexy in her Tron uniform.
Sexy as fuck. Oh, there were so many fine-ass bitches in this movie. I would strongly suggest it on that account.
So this movie, it grossed $400 million.
Yeah, and on a $170 million budget.
That's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
It's a Disney flick too, which was kind of threw me a little bit, but
right.
I gave it a chance and I'm happy I did.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is one of those true movies you just need to see for what you're going to see. You know, it's not one of those movies where you're going to come back and say, well, that was a compelling story or the acting was amazing, you know. But right. It's a visual explosion, you know, it's just great.
And with a soundtrack by Daft Punk,
mm-hmm.
they really like catch you up in it, you know what I mean? And I think it's probably one of the coolest soundtracks I've ever heard to a movie.
Yeah, it's the sort of soundtrack that you hear and you're like, man, I want to take this and write a cooler story in a movie to the soundtrack. That's how exceptional this soundtrack was, you know?
Yeah, listen to it on your way to a rave.
Yeah, exactly. You know? What I thought about Tron Legacy just basically involves my opinion of the Jeff Bridges character in this movie. Throughout this movie, he played 3 roles consisting of a father, the dude from Big Lebowski, and some bohemian, tree-loving hippie. And, you know, I just got confused, to be honest with you. And just, you know, watching him transition through these 3 roles where you just couldn't quite tell what role he was going to have with his son, you know, kind of buffed me out of the movie, but top-notch special effects, ridiculous soundtrack. What story? I don't care. I saw it in 3D at the theaters. Money well spent.
I thought it was pretty cool, start to finish. You know, being that they had that $170 million budget, they were able to get a good director and make a good movie. You know, in 3D. So you knew that the shots were going to be big time. You know, crazy, in your face type shots.
It was an ass clencher. Such a good way to start.
Then he gets the message from his dad, and he goes and he checks out the old warehouse and all that with the old games and gets sucked into the Tron. And it was really cool. He was like a kid lost in a forest for a second, and you got to see different parts of their world that has evolved since the original Tron.
One thing to note and mention about this new movie is that they take Jeff Bridges' character and digitally put him in the movie. Well, they take him from the original movie and they put that character in this movie, and it's all digitally done. I have to say, I mean, I didn't notice, crazy. You know, like, it was very well done.
He just looked like he had a really good facelift. It was tight. It was tight in the face. There's some really cool pieces of this movie where, you know, they do that light cycle battle, and he's walking the streets of Tron. And, you know, there's businesses, and there's, you know, if you really pay attention, it's a really neat, intricately done cityscape, you know, and you know, the games that they put on the arena, you know, the light cycle race, it was outstanding to see. I'm glad you guys have tuned in for this week's episode because there's a special little deal we've done in honor of the light cycle scene in Tron Legacy. So Danny Boy here is going to ride the Tron-mobile, alright? He is actually going to be transported into Tron. That was an unbelievable light cycle.
Whoa!
What was that, an 85 Honda?
I think so.
So what we're going to do at this point of the show, I think we're going to go ahead and give it a rating.
Yeah, ratings are a good thing, yeah.
You know, like we were talking about, the action scenes were great. There was really unique parts of this movie, like the light cycle battle, that you'll not find in another movie. You know, and I enjoy going and seeing something unique and fun with an excellent soundtrack, you know, to back it up. I think that's key in any movie, and especially in a movie like this, it could have been very boring without it. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, and not because I didn't enjoy it thoroughly. Just because I felt like, you know, the acting was subpar, like Dan's story. It's an important part of movies for me, in my opinion. You know, not just the explosions or the cool light cycle races. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give it a 7.
Yeah, well, that's very judicious and well thought out rating, and I'm going to go ahead and agree with my partner. 7 out of 10. This movie had, like he said, great, you know, special effects and an excellent, you know, keep you involved type of, you know, special effects driven storyline with the soundtrack. But yeah, the acting, the story, you know, when not, you know, not accompanied by the special effects was just, it's like, when am I going to see my next light cycle battle? But when you did, I mean, it was so worth the wait. Yeah.
Have yourself a couple of cocktails.
Yes.
Call it Keystone. Tell them Box Office Gold sent you.
That's right.
Oh, it gets better every time I drink it. If you haven't seen the Ice House Rap video,
watch it.
Watch it. Check out our other reviews. We've done a ton of movies now. I think we've got, what, 11 videos on there. This is going to be number 12. We've got a couple of movies coming at you. Limitless review coming to you real soon.
Yeah.
By the time this gets on there, you'll probably already have seen it.
Box Office Gold. We're great all the time. Watch us. Subscribe to us. Enjoy us.
BoxOfficeGold.net. I'm Mike.
I'm Dan.
Thanks for watching, man. YouTube that shit. Subscribe to our channel.